This time last week, I was in New Hampshire with the dog to tackle Mount Washington and the Presidential Peaks. Exactly a week later, to the day, to the hour, I'm in Todi, Switzerland, about to head up to an 11,600 foot mountain named Todi, but not just the mountain alone, a glacier along the way. Fact is, given the amount of time I have on this layover, more than likely I won't meet Todi. I'll have a good time with the glacier. So today, 4 o'clock, 4:15, I'm going to make it as far as I can this evening. Got the tent with me, got the headlight. I'll see how far I can get before I have to stop. Got so much adrenaline going on, and I'm petrified at the same time. Clouds finally started to lift to let me know just what the hell I'm up against. Quite a lot. And that's the small mountain. It's about 7:30, and I'm at the Hütte. That right there, where I spent the night. Not much to it. First hut built up here in about 1863. Recorded treks up to Todi above here. Started back in the early 1830s. Chamois hunters, which is, I remember correctly, is basically just the goats that we've seen in Spain and also in Romania. And I got it here at night, about 9:30. So from the village, Todi, it took me a solid 5 hours to get up here, which beats everyone's estimates by about an hour, and I was booking. So the last 2 hours that was in sheer darkness, so the trail markers are quite good. Right down at the shining part at the lake there, and there's another cabana right next to it. Something more, well, they got lots of rooms and cooking and coffee, but not today because it's not manned this time of the week during September, the Todi Hütte. But that was the trek coming up, very rocky, lots of rivers in between. And if you note, there's a glacier. That's the first part of it, and this is what I woke up to this morning. And that's where I'm going, as far as I can. So the goal here is to have fun on that today. Todi, which is back behind the mountain here, would be really something else to make it to. But to be quite honest, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be possible. I still have to make it down by dark to Todi, which if it was 5 hours from here and I was booking it, by the time I get up to that area, I'll be pretty tired before I get back. So it's probably going to take me about 5 hours to get down. Last bus to the next train, which then goes to Zurich, is about 10 o'clock in the evening, and there'll be a lot of night crawling at that point. We'll see how things go. Might just go up to the first flat level there, sunbathe the rest of the day. Sadly, I'm not that far along into the hike up the glacier, and it's hard, and there's a lot of iffy places that I'm certainly going to go back down on my ass to get back to the cabana, pick up my stuff, and head home. And that may happen sooner than not, because I simply don't have the gear for this. I've just taken a break because that was a very difficult section coming up. That loose rock, slippery, and leads right into all these ice caverns created by the base of the glacier. Now, this is an alpine glacier, so it's created by the accumulation of snow and ice over the centuries. And they've started doing studies on it since the mid-1800s, measuring how far it's advanced and how far it has retreated. And there's been quite a few parts where the retreation rate to the evaporation of the snow and ice really is only like maybe 2, 3, 4 meters. Occasionally there's a 10 meters. But then back in the 1920s and the 1970s, actually, it advanced nearly 20 meters to 30 meters back down. So the advancement and retreat of the glacier has been over 200 years worth of data, and each decade they take it. It's been sort of a wish-wash of it. So certainly it is retreating, but it could be any decade now, a big winter, that the accumulation of the snow, which then gets compacted with the ice, and the melting comes into the firn, and then the firn is actually then created into the glacier ice, which is what you see directly in front and back inside there. So for an alpine glacier, it only takes about 50 feet, and before it starts, the top starts to pummel over and move on down, and thus you get the glacier. But you can sit here and just listen, and you'll hear a few of the sediment rocks fall off the ice. It starts to melt here with the late summer. So, good place just to take a stop and reassess conditions. Really only about 9,000 feet. It's not that much, but this is not easy. I will hand it to these city-modified crampons that get me through security. I could use the spikes really, but even with the rock, it's useless. And the fissures, you can see some of them down in there. This one here is easy 50 feet deep. It just wouldn't do any good for me there. I need people and ropes, lots of ropes. I have to be proud of myself for saying no, for one. I just couldn't find a way up and around the crag or the glacier there. And the way the route supposedly goes, that I wrote about off to the right in there, it's just been too eroded out by the water coming down that the jump would have been impossible. So I tried up the other way here, and unfortunately they've already got some ropes up there without any clamp-ons to scale what pretty much becomes a rock face. And as I come back down here, I start looking at myself like, well, maybe I could do this, or maybe I could do that one. And in the end, it's like, well, if that was already very difficult, then everything else is going to be even doubly difficult if it looks hard from here. So I just have to be smart, because I've already had a few scares. Walking on this part of the glacier was no fun on the front part here, not the rocky part, because that is all sheer ice, and these city clamp-ons just aren't going to do. But so the day's over for Todi. It's just not going to happen, not this time around. I still have to get down. Aren't these amazing? Bit of a safe area here, so I can film and show all this at the same time. Of course, a lot of erosion that goes along with this, being the glacier and the downhill stage here. But these are pretty much fissures by the top part of the fern moving faster than the bottom part, and so it starts to split itself. And it's what you create here. And then, of course, the turkey here. Uh-oh. And I'm not so hurdly ice. Tell there's not footprints here already. Come on, dig in. Dig in. Foothold. Let's see. Dig in. Dig in. Thank you. Dig in. I swear. That looks so freaking hard, does it? Alright. All glacier water coming right down through this ravine. Somehow I gotta find a way to get across. I'm taking another trail. Real nice one. It goes along the ridge there. Spectacular. Man, look at all that water coming off, and it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Oh, nice and fresh though. So, gotta take my way carefully. Listen, here, no way. Feet first. That was cold. Cold, cold, cold. I gotta find a way to dry out now. Oh, boy, she felt good though.